started here. Welcome everyone to this Sunday School webinar. And we welcome everyone, of course, but most of all the new people who haven't been here before. You're especially welcome. And what is this Sunday School webinar? Well, we do these webinars so that you can get some information, inspiration, motivation, and learn a little bit about yourself, actually, because that's what it's all about. If things gonna change, you gotta change. So we have these every Sunday, and since we're traveling a lot, and at least we used to travel a lot, but still travel a lot because it could be travel inside a country. So we have these every Sunday, and you should bring your people to these webinars, because what we talk about here is the keys to success, the key principles for success. And these webinars are never the same. There are different themes every Sunday. Some things will be repeated, of course. That's always the case. Some things will come again, but there's always something new. There's always something you can learn. And why it is so important to attend these webinars is that we can't help ourselves. We can do the work. We can do the legwork. We can read and we can listen and we can take action. We can do the work, but someone else has to help us get the right information, mentoring us. And that's why you need to be on these Sunday School webinars. You can read this slide for yourself. It's from a guy that I really admire, Rich DeVos, and he is the founder and the owner of one of the greatest networks in the world. And yeah, it's so true. You know, the only thing that stands in between what people actually want in life is people's will to try and to believe that it's possible. And you can summarize that slide into one thing, and that is it's about setting goals, and it's about taking action when you set those goals. And since we talk a lot about knowledge, we talk a lot about information and inspiration and education. You will get educated when you're on these webinars. There's no doubt about it. You will get educated. You will learn new stuff. You will learn a lot about yourself and others. But knowledge is not power. Power is knowledge in action. So you got to take these things, these principles that we talk about, and use them. Otherwise, you're just full of knowledge, and that will turn into nothing. You got to use your knowledge. So put it into action. And you know that I talk a lot about helping other people. And I think that's the main thing. I know it's hard for someone to really get it because you have a hard time helping yourself. That's okay, because you got to help yourself first before you can help someone else. So it's a really good start. You're starting in the right direction. But I understand that we need to fulfill our dreams, and we want to do stuff and have stuff and help maybe the one that are closest to us. Then after a couple of years, or I don't know, because there's no there's no guidelines, because we're all individuals. But at least for me, it took many years until I really understood that why the whole purpose of being here has got to be to help other people. Because in the end, you can have, all the cars that you want. You can live in the most luxurious high house. You can have boats. You can, but what's the use of that if it's only for you? Maybe that turned out wrong, but you know what I'm talking about. So what I mean is, when you experience a lot of stuff and you have a lot of stuff, then you can actually, you have a surplus. We talked about it the other day, that there are 3 modes where people living. Most people live in survival mode. They live to survive, and they have a hard time doing that. They go from paycheck to paycheck just to survive. There are many of those out there. Then the category 2 are those that live in security mode. It's the next step, and you can see that this ties into the Maslow pyramid that I've been talking about a lot here. If you attend these Sunday school, you know what I'm talking about. I will probably stop by the Maslow today at one slide here later on, but so survival mode, it doesn't even sound good, living paycheck to paycheck. Then security mode is where most people live. They do what everyone else is doing, and they're following everyone else's advice. They go to a job and they want security. And that's why most politicians, that's what they're selling. They are selling security. Vote for me, and I will give you free stuff, and I will do this, and I will do that, which never happens, because politicians, they only say what they want people to hear, so they can get reelected again. That's why I'm the person that dare to speak the truth, and I know politicians should not help us. We should help ourselves. So that's also a big thing with being on these webinars. We learn to stand on two feet and to take care of ourselves. And when we learn to do that, then we can help others around us. So, but since you're in a business where we build an organization, it's about leadership, and then I have a formula which I call FAT. You got to work with people who are fat, and people go like, what? I need to look for obese people? No, this is just one of those, you make fun of words. So people who are fat is actually this. F in fat stands for faithful. A in fat stands for available, and T in fat stands for trainable or coachable. So work with people who are, these are the people that you're looking for. I use the expression, you're looking for people who have a dream inside of them, who are willing to change. Because if you try to change someone that don't want to change, or actually, make them successful or build business with them, it will not work, because that person got to be willing to change. And so let's go through these 3 so you understand, and you probably already understand most of it, but I do it anyway. So we're looking for people, because when you're going to start working with people, You're looking for the faithful ones, those that doesn't stab you in the back, who are genuine, loyal, and that takes time, of course, because you don't know each other. Maybe you are friends, but then you're going to learn. You're going to learn to know a lot of people in your organization that you're not friends with, and you're going to build a relationship with them. But remember that we're in an industry. We're in the industry of people. We work with people. This is a people's business, and these are relationships. So a person need to have, some kind of loyalty. Otherwise, it will not work. It will be problems. It will turn out a lot of bad stuff will happen. I'm telling you. So these you don't really know when you meet them. So that's why we need trainings. That's why we need action. That's what we need, so we can see what people do, because we don't judge them by what they say, because everyone's going to say, yeah, I want to be successful. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to, and then you look at their actions and you see, well, it's just talk. They just talk. There's no action. But you're looking for the faithful ones. You're looking for those who are available. That means people who show up. Because if you're going to learn something, you need to show up at webinars, at live meetings, at trainings, at leadership meetings, at events. You need to show up. This was one of the first things that my mentor learned me. He told me, you got to go to all the meetings. You got to train yourself. You got to be part of something bigger than you. So if they're not available, if they're always have an excuse, or if they're doing stuff that, they are having, I don't know what they do. They have hobbies, or, they're walking the dog, or whatever they do. You can't work with them. Well, at least you can't spend most of your time with them, because it will be pointless. So work with the available ones. And then the ones that are coachable, trainable, the ones that listen, that say, teach me, help me, show me. I'm willing, I'm here, So those are the people that you are looking for. And then this word, most of you already know, of course. I know we have leaders here who are professionals that make $1 zillion in a second and know everything about this. But maybe there's a new person on this webinar who doesn't know really what duplication is. And duplication is actually that people will do what you do. They will not do what you tell them to. That's duplication. And since we are human beings, we watch other people, okay, now he did that, or now she said that, or now she's doing that, or, so if you have a bad behavior in your group, it doesn't have to be coming from you, but you should do a moral inventory of yourself and see, actually, if you're a real leader, if you're leading people by example, if you're walking the talk, because that's the only way. I'm telling you, if you're going to be a real leader, you got to walk the talk. You have to be that person that people look up to. You got to have a vision. You got to have set goals. Listen, these are the things that will duplicate. If people don't set goals, if they don't write them down, they will duplicate immediately. If people don't show up at meetings, that will duplicate. If people try to take shortcuts, that will duplicate. And something that's really not part of this industry, cross recruiting. That's actually a big no-no. It's actually illegal. You can't steal from other people, guys. I know it happens, and there's some circumstance and all that, but we don't do that. So cut that off immediately, because it will not benefit anyone, and it will duplicate. I'm telling you. So anyway, duplication will happen. Everything that a leader do will duplicate in in her or his organization. Lack of things will duplicate, or things that actually are people are great at. So duplication is you can't avoid it. I'm telling you, you can't avoid it. It will happen whether you like it or not. So when we look at, we had a couple meetings here, and we did some trainings, and one day I spoke a little bit about the sense of urgency, and you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. So when to start a new member, when to start someone, when to start building that relationship, which will duplicate. Remember that. Whatever you do will duplicate, I promise you. So when you start a new member, it's massive action from day one. It's got to be a sense of urgency. It's got to be now, not next week, not next month. It's now. And that will duplicate itself, because people will, you got to realize that if they haven't done, maybe they've done some network marketing before, or direct sales, or affiliate marketing, whatever, online marketing. But it doesn't matter if they weren't successful, really successful, then they need to learn how to become successful. So they have to relearn all the bad stuff that they tried before. And success is a numbers game. So you see, massive action will duplicate. So how many presentations a person does the first days in his or her business is so crucial. How you teach them to go into massive action immediately. And success is a numbers game in many ways. It's how much do you want to earn your first week, your first month? How many people are you going to recruit your first week, your first month? How big of an organization will you have? And so on and so on. So success is a numbers game. It's also a numbers game in that sense that you have to show many people the opportunity, because a lot of people will say no. They will come back later and say yes, but a lot of people will say no. You got to understand, not everyone will say yes. So it's a numbers game. You got to go out there and just, throw it on the wall and see how many sticks. I know it's not a popular expression, but that's so true. So another thing that will duplicate, another thing that is a sense of urgency, is goal setting. You got to have a time frame. So you got to learn the new people. They work in a time frame. You also got to learn the new people, the new members. You got to have an object. You got to have something to work towards. And you got to have short-term and long-term goals. This is not a goal setting session, but I just put this in here because it fits so well with duplication. And you got to have an exact amount. So these things will duplicate. You got to teach your people. When you're working with the fat people, the faithful, the available, and trainable, these are the things that you will tell them and train them and show them, because when you show them, they will duplicate what you're doing. You can show them your goals. Show them what you wrote down. You gotta have short term, like I said, and long term. You gotta have. I'm willing to put in hours to get these things, or you gotta state what you're doing. You gotta have a mindset of that you're willing to put something in, because you will not get something out if you don't. And you have to visualize. Tell people that read their goals before they go to bed at night, and visualize is powerful. Your subconscious will pick it up. I'm telling you. So these are the things that duplicate, and these are the things that you need to learn your people when you start working with them, and you start duplicating, and you start training them, and you're doing the meetings with them, and you've seen this before. Wealthy people have things in common, all wealthy people, and that is they don't base their decisions based out of fear. You got to get rid of your fear. The best way to get rid of your fear is to take action. Here is Maslow. So if you haven't seen it before, I was shocked because no one seemed to know what I was talking about. I asked the other day if they have listened to Sunday school, and everyone, yeah. And I said, you remember Maslow? Everyone was like, question marks, because I talk a lot about this. Why do I do this? Because this is a great example. I'm not promoting Maslow because maybe he was a total idiot. What do I know? I didn't meet him, but he wrote several books, and he was a philosopher and a mystic, and he came up with this, the Maslow's meaning of life. And we all start in the bottom, and we're going to work ourselves up. And to work ourselves up, then we need to change ourselves. We need to get habits, other habits that we didn't have before. We need to be disciplined. We need to set goals. We need to get rid of fear. All those things to move up in this pyramid. And when we move up in the pyramid, immediately you make more money in the blue field than you do in the brown in the bottom. Unfortunately, the brown and the gray field are where most people stay their whole life. And they miss out so much because they could also have done it. They could also put 5 minutes aside and set some goals. They could also go out and take action. They could also, but you know what they did? They said no. Because they made a choice to base their life out of fear-based choices. And everyone's life is a choice. And I'm repeating this because you need to get this down. Every day, you have choices to make. People are going to ask you questions. And a good thing is, why you should set goals is because when you set your own goals, you are making a plan, and you have your own plan because you know where you're going. And if you don't know where you're going, you will fit into someone else's plan. Most people, they fit in someone else's plan. They're working for someone else's dream, not their own. Isn't that sad? So the choices you make is either fear-based, left, or fight, which is right. So flee, and you can see that people who are not successful. Okay, someone's calling. So people who are not successful, they make scarcity decisions. They tend to flee instead of fighting. But leaders, they fight. They're not scared. They say, I'm going to do this, And in the beginning, maybe it is scary because it is for everyone. Because we haven't really understood, that action is the best cure for fear. We haven't understood that we can attend a webinar and get motivated and go out and do miracles. So we make choices, and the thing is that whatever choice you make, if you make a wrong choice, then you can make a new choice. You get a new opportunity to make another choice because we are put in front of opportunities, several opportunities every day, and there's a new day coming. There's a new day where you can make new choices. So if you make a bad choice yesterday, it's not the end of the world. And I love this because this gives people hope when they understand it, of course. Most people don't understand it, but that's okay. So you get a new choice. Maybe, let's say you make another bad choice again. You go into fear. Well, then this repeat. You get another choice and another choice and another choice until you learn, until you have so much knowledge and you've been to so many webinars on Sunday school that you understand that, wow, I can see that I'm starting to changing now. Because fear is often installed by someone else. But faith has to going to be installed by you. You are going to install the new hope, the new faith in yourself. And you get help, of course, like attending a webinar like this, that someone else is installing faith in you, like I'm doing right now. I'm telling you, I'm giving you the keys to success. And you have your upline, you have people that you work with, and we all need that. We all need someone that gives us hope. But sometimes we need to put that in ourselves. We need to be self-motivated, self-disciplined, and we need to be leaders. And I love this saying. I put it out the other day. I love it. It's better to act your way into a new feeling than to feel your way into a new acting. The second one is what most people do. The losers, or the people who not become successful, they try to feel their way into new acting, and the time is never right, and it doesn't feel like it, and I don't want to do it, and no, the time is not right, and it's the wrong season, or it's the wrong day. Everything is wrong for them, because it will never be right for those kind of people, until one day when they are fed up and said, I've had it living a life like this. I've had it not having to have enough. I've had it. And then that's when most people, if they get a chance, start to change. So again, guys, success is a numbers game. How many? If you just understand this slide, you will be successful. Success is a numbers game. How many? Massive action. Thank you, guys, for attending this webinar. It was a little bit shorter than the others, I think. I don't know. But it was good. So for you all out there, I never talk about facts. I don't like facts because they change. I like principles because they never change. And you got some of them today. And if you didn't get it, you have to come back next Sunday, listen again, because we will deliver. And just stay safe out there, not because of any fear-based stuff the government is putting out, just because stay safe, be happy, joyous, and free, because we're all creators of our own destiny. Thank you.